Jeanine Pirro, U.S. Attorney for Washington, D.C., joins us. Good morning. Oh, good afternoon, Judge, excuse me.
Hi, everyone. It's nice to be with you, but certainly on a day like today, it's heartbreaking for all of us. Like everyone, I've known Charlie for 10 or 12 years, and I'm heartbroken. I'm heartbroken because we had someone who literally was a voice for a generation, someone who literally could turn out young people and change an election. He was a passionate voice for conservative values, and he empowered young people. And he used this Prove Me Wrong tour to spark open debate on campuses across the country. His work inspired millions of young people, and he will leave a legacy of challenging ideas and fighting for what he believed in. He Today, and I'm brokenhearted as I look at his photos. I mean, right now we have lost a true warrior for freedom and open discourse. And Charlie wasn't just a commentator or an activist. He was, and I think Greg may have said this, and I agree, he was a force of nature. He built Turning Point USA from the ground up, and he gave young conservatives a platform in a world that often tried to silence them on university campuses, preventing them from saying what they believed, getting people to write papers that they didn't agree with just to get a good grade. His movement embodied everything that he believed in. He invited the tough questions, and he debated ideas head on, and he proved what we've always known, but so few people use it. He proved that truth wins when it's tested. That's what Charlie Kirk did. And look, I knew that he was a bold voice many years ago and a man of deep conviction. And I got to tell you, Dana, you're right. I mean, his belief in family, his marrying Erica, his two children, his unwavering loyalty to his friends. I mean, he leaves behind an incredible legacy, a movement that will only become stronger because of this young man who made a decision to take a different course. He created it, and he had all of us following him. And, they talk about, fascism and all that. The ones that are trying to silence the dialogue, they're the ones who are the true fascists. And what I know of Charlie is that he would want us to keep fighting. He would want us to keep fighting with words, to build a debate, to prove our doubters wrong. And in the end, Charlie proved us all right about what matters. And what we need to tell Charlie is that we will continue to carry the torch that he created on the road that he took, because this is a man who will be legendary. He changed, as far as I'm concerned, he changed an election because he was strong and he believed in young people.
Judge Jeanine, your voice is most welcome here today. Thank you. We'll be in touch with you
Thank
as
you,
well.
guys.